Hello. Today I'm excited to present to you the most refined and elevated fragrance in my collection and perhaps the world. My relationship with this fragrance borders on sacred. It inspires awe and a powerful, ineluctable attraction that makes me go quiet. This is a 2017 release from Yves Saint Laurent's exclusive range called Le Vestiaire des Parfums. There is within that an edition called Edition Couture. It's a group of 3 fragrances that are in black bottles. This is one of them. I find that this fragrance is not talked about nearly enough, and that is to do with the fact that this is not a flashy fragrance. That said, it is a masterpiece and definitely deserves to be put on the map. The nose behind this fragrance is Fabrice Pellegrin. The fragrance I'm talking about today is none other than Yves Saint Laurent's 24 Rue de L'Universite. Between 2012 and 2016, Hedi Slimane was the creative director at Yves Saint Laurent. In 2015, he revived the house's haute couture department, which had been abandoned in 2002. He inaugurated the haute couture atelier at Paris's historic Hôtel de Saint-Nectaire at the address 24 Rue de l'Universite. This address is significant because it is located in the historical Rive Gauche of Paris, which in French history is known to be the domain of artistic counterculture. It was the preferred territory for artists, writers, and philosophers, and Yves Saint Laurent himself was known to associate with this clique of artists. The fragrance 24 Rue de l'Universite was launched in 2017 and was a nod to Yves Saint Laurent's new and eponymous creative hub. It also referenced Hedi Slimane's first haute couture collection that carried the same name. There is a sleek monochrome aesthetic that runs throughout and that feels ultra refined and darkly romantic. The bottle too is sleek modernism with its clean lines and its blacked out glass. It is very heavy and has a magnetic cap which is beautifully detailed with a textured grip and the monogram on the top. The monogram is also embossed on the inside and it clicks into place. The bottle sits snugly in a pedestal and that is covered with a very sturdy box that is beautifully imprinted with a canvas texture with the monogram at the top and the label in the front. It is cushioned inside and so it holds the bottle in place, so it is very good for traveling so that your bottle doesn't get damaged. So immediately, this fragrance does not follow the top, middle, base perfume structure that we take for granted. This is very much a base dominant fragrance and it is very reminiscent of a concerto for double bass. The overall experience is much more profound right off the bat. Here I would like to assert a strong and very controversial opinion of mine. Often when a sales assistant pitches this structure of perfume, they propose it as some kind of layering tool that would supposedly add depth and longevity to another fragrance. What kind of cretin would do that? It is tantamount to drawing a moustache on the Mona Lisa. What it says about you is that you are appreciating a fragrance simply for the sum of its parts and that you are unable to perceive the singular narrative, artistry, and craftsmanship in a perfume. Anyway, back to the composition. This fragrance opens with an ultra smooth sandalwood. Sandalwood really is the center feature of this fragrance. And here this sandalwood is not so much faceted as it is polychroic, meaning it emits different colors at different times. It is unbelievably smooth. Sandalwood itself is naturally sweet and creamy, And here that has been exaggerated with what I think is the addition of a coconut note. Now, before you abandon this video, the coconut note that I detect in this fragrance has nothing to do with the faux tropical suntan lotion vibe that we have been exposed to for so long. On the contrary, this is a very discreet auxiliary role and has been seamlessly blended. You would not really perceive it if you weren't concentrating on it. This sandalwood has a living pulse, and it's constantly swirling and changing colors, as I said, and sometimes you get an impression of rosewood, and sometimes it shifts and gives you a bit of spicy, soft spiciness, maybe a tendril of cardamom, and sometimes there's a sweet, soft incense that comes through. But the marvel of it is this exceptional craftsmanship. The blending is seamless, and it gives you the impression of one single opulent material. It doesn't have the effect of a mosaic of different notes creating an accord. It is the summum of refinement and cannot be compared to any other sandalwood fragrance on the market, in my opinion. If you take something like Le Labo's Santal 33, that is crude and down to earth, and 24 is celestial and has enormous mystical elevation. It is really remarkable. There is also a soft, warm suede accord that feels protective and enveloping, and also a bit carnal for its saltiness. To me, this leather accord evokes being invited under a long leather coat by someone very attractive who shields you during a sudden thunderstorm. So who is this fragrance for? This is the fragrance of your savior. It is impossibly deep, and although it never becomes gothic, it does exude a solemn, melancholic passion. It is not a versatile wear and should not be used for the pub, the club, for the office, for Christmas parties, for sundowners with friends. This is not for drunken hilarity and razzling. This is a fragrance for the nighttime or when the weather feels melancholic. This is for one-on-one encounters of a profound nature in which secrets are shared and promises made. This fragrance strongly projects me into my all-time favorite film, and that is a black and white featurette by Chris Marker that is set in post-apocalypse Paris. It is a time travel movie and a hauntingly beautiful love story. And that element of time travel is what I also find in this fragrance. Time just morphs and shifts, and it's very hard to explain, but I really do get that metaphysical feeling from this fragrance, and the male protagonist in the film would definitely wear this. If you haven't watched that incredible film, then I'm going to link it in my description box. You'll be able to watch it for free. It's only 28 minutes long, and it's a very important film. A lot of films have since taken a lot of inspiration from it, including 12 Monkeys and others. But if you haven't seen it, check out my description box. It is not to be missed. Like the film, this fragrance really celebrates the tragic splendor of existence. So let me talk a little bit about the quality and performance. For those of you who expect your niche style fragrances to be beast mode or eternal, this is absolutely not it, and you'll be bitterly disappointed. This is a much more intimate, quiet experience, and that matches up with the character of the fragrance very well. Initially, it extends to about an arm's length. It projects in a small bubble around you that is mysterious and hypnotic and will draw a lot of people in, but it will never fill a room or shout or brag. It's just not that kind of fragrance. Then as far as the longevity goes, it is quite short. It will remain another 3 hours as a rich skin scent that is reserved only for the intimately acquainted. After that, it starts to disappear. I forgive it because it is such a masterpiece. If it were a mediocre fragrance, I would absolutely not pay the price, because this is a very pricey fragrance. But because I marvel over it over and over again, I really don't mind paying the price for this treasure. It really is a centerpiece in my collection, a really beloved fragrance that I highly recommend. If you can get over the longevity, you do get 6 hours out of it, and for many people that is enough. I'm probably the only person who thinks this way, but try and smell it and decide for yourself. As I said, one of the most beloved fragrances in my collection. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this different style of fragrance, and I look forward to hearing everything you have to say about it. I've been enjoying interacting with you in the comment section, so please carry on. I'd also like to ask you to help and support my channel by sharing these videos. It really goes a long way to expand on what I'm doing. So thank you in advance for that, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.